Welcome, people, the World Wide Web. So this is Chris from Cypher Sigma Screen Time. Obviously a channel about movies, TV and everything else. Obviously the weekend that you're watching now is one of my movie reviews from this past week. If any of the content does take your fancy, if you don't mind listening to my whiny voice, probably, or interested in my content, please do go and look at loads of my playlists. I have a lot of content there. Maybe there is something else for you. Maybe you'd want to hit the subscribe button. Or maybe you would want to put a comment. I will happily answer all comments and everything when I can. So this movie is Cold Storage. So this is 1 hour and 39 minutes. It is a film that was filmed actually in 2023, which I did not realise. It doesn't say why it was delayed in this one. This comes from director Johnny Cranbell. He's only basically done episodes of series and stuff of like Doctor Who and that. I got an episode here and there. So I think this is kind of his first step into the real world of big movies. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what this movie is about, essentially we have two special agents, Liam Neeson as Robin Quinn and Leslie Manville as Trini Romana. They turn up on this kind of I think it's Australian, basically little town where a space shuttle was sent up into space, crashed back down with this virus, with a kind of this fungal virus. It's supposed to see how it reacts in space, but when it comes down, it's kind of mutated and kind of just wants to spread. It has this kind of insect qualities to it. This scientist, she comes along with these two, finds it contagious her, and then they kind of have to sacrifice everything and lock it away. They lock the virus away in this bunker in America. And over time, unfortunately, it gets decommissioned. It gets turned into basically a cold storage, so to speak, or self-storage. Then you are kind of given the main characters, and it's them coming to the realization that this is leaked out and affecting people in there, and then people have to come back. So that is the movie in a nutshell, so to speak. I will put the spoiler warning up and we shall get into it. So yes, so as I said, it starts, obviously you have Liam Neeson's character and Leslie Manville. Obviously they go to this Australian outback. They're trying to look for bodies. They're all on top of the buildings and they're all spread out. Basically they get this virus. They go to the highest point and try and explode so they can get into the air, getting into other creatures and stuff like this and basically spread. There is a little bit that gets on one of the doctor's shoes, the main lady who is in this, and she gets infected because it goes for a shoe into her skin and causes her to become kind of irate and just want to spread it. She takes off her mask and shoots herself, and they end up obviously having to get rid of that. For those two, it's quite a traumatic experience, and Liam Neeson hurts his back in the process, and that's something comes into play a little bit later. So then 20 odd years go by, and this is, you see it taken off, put in this chamber, controlled with all these other poisonous things and stuff like this. It's decommissioned and then turned into a storage place. This is where you bring the two main characters of the show. So Joe Keery from Stranger Things as Tea Cake. I think his name is Trevor, but there's a nickname Tea Cake and you find out at the end. And then you have Georgina Campbell as Naomi, a new starter. And then obviously you have Griffin, their boss. Tea Cake turns up. Griffin's there trying to get him to do some deals. He said no. He goes off and said these two are basically there to run this cold storage. It's Naomi's first night. And basically there's a noise. Can you find what the noise is? Due to them kind of getting bored, they try and look for noise, find the noise. It's behind a fake wall that then has this kind of reactor type control panel. And she's quite clever. Naomi's quite clever and realised that obviously this is down to some sort of storage. They find like a map and that, and then they go exploring this on the later levels. An old lady has come into a storage unit in between that, gone down and actually had to sleep because she looks like she's going to try and kill herself. And in between this, the government are now warned because this beep that's going off is actually a containment that due to many factors, which Liam Neeson had complained about before he'd retired, had said basically if this happens, the virus will get out. He's then called back in, and he gets on a plane to basically stop this threat from spreading. While Tea Cake and Naomi are looking around, Naomi's ex turns up. He's shot a cat. It's in the back of his car by mistake. It gets infected and then infects him and the deer. They wander into the clinic and are just trying to spread it. This then kind of Naomi and that find the room where this virus is. There's like a rat king that's supposed to go along, which loads of rats merged together. They notice the virus and they're like, oh, we need to get out of here. They get out of here and then confronted by her ex. They see he's kind of infected and stuff. And this deer, the deer explodes. They're not, and then obviously he kind of tries to explode, but they chase away from him and hide up. Call the number that Naomi took a picture from of the clinic to say that it's there. And they say, obviously, then they patch through to Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson's like, just stay where you are. I'm coming. I will sort it out. Dennis, the manager, who's a bit of a griffin, sorry, not Dennis, a griffin, turns up with a load of his friends to get some widescreen TVs, which has been hiding in there. In the process of this, they go down, disturb Naomi's ex-husband. A lot of them get infected and die, and they all then go, it all goes a little bit crazy. Griffin thinks he can get out of it by pointing his gun and trying to get out of the building, ends up getting shot by Liam Neeson because Liam Neeson doesn't want them to do anything, but obviously in between sabotage of bikes, he falls over and hurts his back and he's stuck on the ground while the virus is coming towards him. Why his government official is telling him, like, I can see in the infrared, this is what's happening. Naomi and Tea Cake get out. They manage to get in the car with the help of Trinity Romano, who does come back. She helps Liam Neeson's character pick up the dirty warhead that he's got. Then what they do is they split up. No, I've mixed that slightly up. So when Liam Neeson turns up first, he gives them the job of planting the nuke while he watches it, and then Dennis gets killed. Anyway, they plant the nuke, they go to get out, they all get in the car, they drive off, it explodes. More or less the end, kind of happily ever after. And then you have Tea Cake and Naomi together, and you find out why Tea Cake is called Tea Cake and stuff like this. And then it kind of shows a load of deer in the wild, and like one of them then throws up to say it's like still out there. What did I think of this movie? I rate this movie 6.5 out of 10, very much same as Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. It is a solid average movie. It is interesting enough that you have this virus and how it is spread and how they want to do it. Again, a little bit like the previous movie that Revived, there are bits where it goes back and tells you stuff that's previously happened with the virus and how it gets out. They kind of hold that off a little bit and then explain it, and it makes more sense. There are a bit silly things like how the cat kind of kills itself and the deer and stuff like this, and there are a few funny moments between it. Good chemistry between the main characters and stuff like this, and it's an interesting story. But overall, as I say, it's 6.5. It's an average solid movie for what it is. Like it hits all the bells and whistles. It delivers. It has some interesting moments. It has some funny moments. It has some cringe moments. But it's nothing to like, there's nothing stand out that goes, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, I can't do that. It just kind of hits beat for beat and throws a few random things in here. That has been my review of Cold Storage. Have you seen this movie? Let me know your thoughts and feeling about it down below. Otherwise, I've been Chris from Sci-Fi Screen Time. I'll definitely see you in the next one.